You still live together. Y'all still paying the bills and y'all still taking care of them children, right? But when was the last time y'all truly felt like a husband and wife?
And some marriages don't end with just betrayal.
And we're going to talk about that on today. But before we do that, I'm Nikki.
And I'm George,
And
and
this
this
is
is
the
the
G
G
Way
Way
Podcast.
Podcast.
Let's get into it. Hey, y'all. Welcome back.
Welcome.
All right, let's see what the topic for today is. Are we still married or just managing a household?
Yes, because a marriage can look organized on the outside while the feeling emotionally disconnected on the inside. The bills can be paid, the children can be cared for, and the house can be running, but the relationship may feel neglected.
Yeah, we're about to talk about that on today.
Right.
So we have some questions to open up with. When was the last time you had a conversation that wasn't about responsibilities? Because I know everybody talk about that all the time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Another one said, when was the last time you felt pursued by your spouse? Do you still enjoy each other or do you mainly depend on each other? Those are the
Good
questions we want
questions.
y'all to ask amongst one another. And then we're going to get into the next part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the conversations that come out of that when you just
When you
managing the
managing a
marriage.
household.
Yeah. You
Okay.
could be asking who is picking up the kids, simply what bill is due,
Okay.
what are we eating, who is handling the appointments, what needs to be clean at that time, and what time are you coming home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing wrong with handling responsibilities, right? The
Yeah.
problem begins when the responsibility becomes part of the marriage. And then it destroy the connection that y'all has among one another, right?
Yeah.
We also wanted to say on that part how couples slowly become roommates.
Yeah.
So we kind of broke some things down that we feel like that's part of that
Yeah,
when
that
you become a roommate.
Mhm.
So the section is when you have a busy work schedule,
Mhm.
parenting demands, financial stress, exhaustion, phone and social media, lack of intentional time, unresolved conflict, taking each other for granted, assuming the relationship will maintain itself.
Yeah.
So
So then most couples do not wake up and decide to become just roommates. It happens slowly.
mhm,
And this is when everything else keeps receiving attention except your marriage.
right,
So it slowly creeps in. Okay, so there are some differences between being needed and being just chosen,
okay,
right? I have a list of some. You may be needed just to pay bills, cook food, clean up the house,
mm,
parent the children, drive vehicles, organize everything, and just solve the problems.
okay. So, but
hmm
do you feel desired, appreciated, pursued, heard, emotional supported, chosen beyond what you provide?
Right.
And these are the questions. You love me for who I am or mostly appreciate what I do,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that more.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, we're going to get into, you already know, George, valuable notes.
All right. Thank
Get
y'all.
to it, George.
I love this time of it. First one today, I start with if people commit nice and helpful actions towards you, always pay it forward towards someone else in need. How you receive your blessings, the same way as if you were in a relationship. Continue to do nice things for one another.
Okay.
Right? My second one is let people know that you love your person that you're with. When your spouse knows that their partner loves them, it makes them feel proud and unashamed to be with them. And this also makes the relationship and bond way more stronger. So let people know that you're in a relationship.
Okay.
Right? It helps out. All right, my last one I have is take the load off of each other at times. Your spouse is sometimes overwhelmed. Step in and help lighten the load. Always help each other out on daily basis. Don't leave everything up to one person. That puts too much stress only on that one person. I always do that. Yeah. So that's it
Okay.
for today.
Let's give George, give it up
All right.
for
Thank
George and
you.
his valuable notes. So now y'all know it's time that we get into nothing
Nothing
but
but
the
the
real.
real.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the part where we say we have listed some signs you may be managing more than marrying, right? So the first one is most conversations are about tasks. You spend little intentional time together. The affection has become rare or a routine. You sit together but stay on separate phones.
Mm,
Like you sit in the bed, y'all looking at the phone and not paying
do it.
attention. You rarely ask meaningful questions. Date nights have disappeared. Y'all not going on dates, right? You no longer laugh together. Conflicts is avoided instead of resolved. Not paying attention, that's bad.
Mm,
One spouse feels lonely while the other believes everything is fine. You function well in public, but feel disconnected in private.
yeah.
So y'all really putting on out in public like y'all cool.
Like
But
it's
then
all good.
behind the walls,
Yeah.
y'all not. Y'all disconnected. And we're
Yeah.
gonna work that out on today.
Yeah.
Because which of these signs can couples easily overlook? Because the household still appears to
To
be
be
running
running
well.
very well. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what part did you think that they shouldn't overlook?
I think conflicts is avoided instead of being resolved. I think if you don't resolve it,
Okay.
then it'll stay there. Because even if you faking it outside, it even hurts way worse when you know you still got to deal with it inside.
Yeah.
So at least try to get through it, talk about it, fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's mine.
So the one that I pick is you rarely ask meaningful questions. Because I know a lot of people in their marriage, they don't ask each other questions. They just go with the flow. They don't say, hey, because I think sometimes you don't want to get a negative response, but sometimes those questions are needed to be asked, right?
Yeah,
So I think a lot of us tend to do that in marriages. And that's one thing that I feel like could
yeah.
resolve a lot of
It
problems
could resolve some
because we can't
things. That,
expect to read what's in somebody's mind. And that's
mind.
what I always tell George and we both say, I don't know what you're thinking. Like
Yeah,
if
I
you would
can't
have
read your
asked me, then
mind.
you would have known.
Yeah.
So I think that's the part that I feel like,
How couples can find each other again if y'all lost each other along the way. Have one conversation each day that is not about just responsibilities.
yeah,
Okay. Another way is ask how are you really doing? Not just how you doing. Ask how you really doing.
really doing.
Yeah, let me find
A
out.
lot
Let
of
me
people
know.
don't ask that,
Yeah.
right?
hmm Okay, then you can schedule intentional time together before the calendar fills up. After that, you can express appreciation for things that have become expected. Divide both physical chores and mental responsibilities between one another. Bring back affectionate touch without pressure. Pray together about your connection, not only your problems. And last, you can create something enjoyable to look forward to do as a couple. Those are some of the ways that y'all can bring each other back towards, being happy.
Okay, sometimes you can have a season in your marriage where you feel like a roommate. And these are some things that can cause it, right? If you have a new baby, because we know having a new kid, especially if you're first time parents,
Mm,
y'all got to get things together and learn
that's
how to
real
manage
tough.
that, right? And
Yeah,
having little ones is really a part of difficult part that can have in your marriage. And then illness. So maybe one falls sick,
right.
and then you can have a problem with taking care of it, but you got to stick with them vows because it
Got
said
to.
through sickness and
And
health, right?
health. Yeah, say that in there.
Right. And then you might have grief when you lose somebody that's really
Mm,
close and you don't know how to
yeah,
be how you were before and you take it out on your spouse or you just shut down. All right.
right.
And then job changes. You be in your career, you find another job or you lose a job, right?
Yeah,
And then financial hardship. You hit rock bottom or you having difficulties with the financials that you used to have in place or you lost it and now y'all can't come to a common agreement on stuff. And then caregiving. Like you might be helping others, taking care of everybody, but you got to still
take care
maintain
of the
you
relationship.
and each other, right?
That's right.
And then major life transitions. So it might be a change that you coming about, and then you
Mhm.
feel like, hey, I really don't know if you like the new person that I'm transitioning to, or I have changed it to. So then that becomes where y'all separate and become roommates, right?
Yeah. So then, are we protecting the marriage or only just the household? And here's a few things that can show in your discussion at home. The children's routines, work responsibilities, finances, social commitments, church obligations, and family expectations.
Yeah, y'all have time for all those things we
Yeah,
listed,
you do.
but what time do y'all have
Yeah,
when y'all don't have those things or when you
exactly.
make time? Because
Yeah.
you will see on the end if the marriage receives whatever time is left over.
Yeah.
And that's what y'all feel like, hey, we gonna take care of all these things. And then later on, whatever time we have, if y'all make time for another to respond to each other, be with each other.
Yeah.
So my thing is we protect what we value, right?
Yeah, we do.
If the marriage only received leftover time, it will eventually feel like an afterthought.
Afterthought. Yes, it will.
So if you just putting your marriage at the second, then that's not good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the part where we feel like really needed to be addressed, right? And this is really serious because it's emotional and physical disconnection in your marriage. And when you see these things, this is when you can notice when you stop being able to do these things or stop doing these things. Hugging without a reason, holding hands, complimenting each other, the flirting, the sitting close, kissing goodbyes when you don't kiss your spouse
We don't
goodbye,
kiss each other.
right? Showing non-sexual affection, initiating intimacy, talking about emotional and physical needs, right?
Yeah.
So we feel like these things come about when the physical disconnects and you begin feeling emotional distance and you becoming exhausted. So these are the questions y'all need to ask each other when you're feeling like this. Do we only touch when one person want to have sex?
Mm.
So if
Yeah.
you in your relationship or if you in your marriage and the only time y'all end up touching each other is
It's
when it's
when it's
time to
time
have
to have
sex.
sex.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not good at all.
Right.
And I got the next one. Does affection feel natural or awkward now?
Now,
Right.
yeah, because now when
Mhm.
y'all kissing and when y'all hugging and touching,
Yeah.
is it like just because? Are you feeling awkward like we don't really do this?
Yeah.
That's a problem,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Okay. Have we talked honestly about what is affecting the intimacy? Because these are some serious
Yeah.
questions.
They are.
Because it could be a lot of things that's affecting y'all
That.
intimacy,
Yeah.
and y'all need to resolve that and get to the bottom of that. So
Right.
you need to ask those questions.
That's right. And last, do both spouses feel emotionally safe enough to be vulnerable?
Mm,
So, do y'all both feel okay to be able to say that, "Hey, I ain't feeling well about this," or I'm not good
right.
at this right now. Or I'm struggling, or I can't
You got
keep
to be
up.
able to say that. Oh
Yeah.
God,
So
you got to be able to say those things to
yeah,
each other, even though it might be a bad situation or it
yeah,
might make the other spouse or whoever feel.
yeah,
But it needs to be said, right? Because you
yeah.
want to feel vulnerable when it comes to one another.
That's right. Okay, so here's how couples can reconnect. You can try to ask these questions to your spouse. The first one is, how are you doing emotionally? What has been weighing you down? What made you smile today? And what do you need from me this week?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's some good ones, right? Okay, and another part is you can also create some intentional couple time, right? So these can be some things that you can do. They don't have to be expensive. You can just do these things to give each other some time, right? So you can take a walk, sit outside together, enjoy the outdoors, right?
Hmm.
Have coffee before the day begins. That's something me and George always do. We all would have our coffee and just talk.
Yeah.
Watch something without using your phones. Because how many times y'all be watching TV and then y'all still having y'all phones together? Because me and George fall short sometime on that, and I'll be like, "Hey, babe, we need to put these phones down. We're supposed to be watching a movie, right?
Hmm.
Drive somewhere together. Plan an at-home date. So you don't have to go places all the time to have a date. You can
Yeah,
plan
you
it
can
at
plan some
home.
things at home.
Revisit a place that matters to your relationship. So some people might have where they first met each other or where they first kissed, and those are really meaningful places for you. So
Yeah.
revisit that and just reconnect back to that, which you was on that. Okay, so y'all know we always have some scriptures for y'all. So we about to do that part on right now.
That's right. So the first scripture that we starting off with comes from Ecclesiastes 4:9 and 10. Two are better than one. If either of them falls down, one can always help the other up. Marriage should not feel like one exhausted person carrying the household, while another person simply lives in it. Partnership means both spouses are both supported.
Okay.
Hmm.
And the one that I chose was First Corinthians 13 and 5. Love is not self seeking. A healthy marriage cannot survive when both people focus only on what they are not receiving. Love also asks, how am I showing up for my spouse? Okay, so this is the part of the where we get questions amongst for one another that we're gonna ask in front of y'all, right?
Got some
So
questions.
we're gonna start it off with, have you ever experienced a roommate season in our marriage, babe?
Probably early in our marriage, if we
Mhm.
ever feel like roommates in it when we didn't talk a lot or conversate, or I
Okay.
kept more quiet
Okay.
about things that I felt, upset about, just to not have to argue and stuff like that. So I would say in our early parts of marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So my question to you is, what caused the disconnection
Uh, when we not seeing the eye to eye,
when we not seeing eye to eye?
right?
We
When we on a
not
different,
talking.
when we used to
Yeah.
be on different pages
Hmm.
and not understanding what was the root of the problem.
Yeah.
But now we kind of figure out now how to get to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So then my other question is, what helps you reconnect? We just answered that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, finding the root of the
Yeah, the
problem
root of the problem.
and talking about it.
Okay,
So
I'm
that
gonna
was
do I'm
easy.
gonna do the next one then.
Ah,
Can a couple be good parents but disconnected spouses?
uh, I think they can be good parents, but it's not good to be disconnected as spouses because you're gonna always have issues and arguments
Yeah.
and things that is gonna come about when you know you're not in a good
Mhm.
situation in a relationship.
And it's always a saying it's saying when your kids grow up, what are
Mhm.
y'all gonna have? And
Exactly.
I hear a lot of elders talk about that.
Mhm.
Like make
Yeah.
sure that connection amongst y'all
It's
is good,
strong and
right?
good. Should date nights be scheduled or should romance happen naturally?
I feel like date nights can be scheduled, but
Mhm.
it don't look like it should be like a problem because we
Mhm.
both got to be able to find out when is available time for us. But I feel like the natural romance part should be natural
Yeah.
because I know we should know each other or be then understood what the romance means. Like if I'm walking by you or if
Mhm.
I touch you a certain way or you search me a certain way, then we should be able to find out like, hey, oh,
Yeah.
I see what time it is.
Yeah.
Okay, who usually carries the invisible mental load in our household?
I think I can do it. I think I can do it better by just simply not saying nothing about something just to make sure that we don't have to argue about something because I know if something bothering you, I know you're gonna have to address it.
Yeah.
So I know that I can probably hold something in a little bit longer than you can,
Mm.
but I feel
But
like we both can, but
but
I
my
think I'm
thing
better.
is that is not good
Yeah.
because you shouldn't hold it in because that's like you said, is a mental load. So
Yeah.
obviously it's gonna need to get unloaded.
It will
And when it
eventually.
needs to get unloaded, then it's gonna come off real bad. So I
Yeah.
feel like we shouldn't even have a mental load. We should
Yeah.
be able to check in
Yeah.
and be like, hey, this is what's been going on.
Yeah.
This is what I
I
have a
think I'm
problem with.
better at that now.
Yeah.
So I don't have to hold
So,
nothing in.
I'm always ready to tell him how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I never was at the point where I'd be like, because
Yeah.
he'll be like, dang, what?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't like this because it with anybody.
Yeah.
if I don't like something, I'm
But
gonna
you're
let
gonna
him
have to
know.
say something about it.
Right.
So the last one, what is one thing couples should never stop doing after they get married?
I would say the main thing what I would say is communicating. That's
Mhm.
the big one for me
Mhm.
because that goes into everything else.
Yeah.
Communicating on a regular,
Mhm.
like, because that's something important. Because when you have a disconnect on
Yeah.
communicating, that
Yeah.
goes into a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
What they shouldn't do is keep keeping the spice. Like when you wanted to get married and you fell in love, they say a lot of men stop doing stuff after they get married.
Yeah.
So I feel like you got to stay in shape. You got to stay spicy. You got to stay getting your spouse things, surprising
Stay
them,
looking good,
stay
y'all.
looking
Just don't be
good.
going
But
out there
just
looking
yeah,
crazy
just don't stop doing the things that you
that you was
did
doing before,
before you
right?
got because when if y'all lose each other
Mhm.
and that person finds somebody else, I think it hurt. I think it can hurt a little bit more.
Right?
So a household can continue functioning while a marriage is slowly starving. The bills can be paid, the children can be cared for, and the calendar can stay organized, but your relationship still needs the love, attention, and intention. You do not have to wait for a crisis to choose each other again. Sometimes rebuilding begins with one honest conversation, one sincere apology, and one intentional decision to stop giving your marriage the leftovers.
Okay. So we
Mhm.
have something for y'all to do for this week. We both want y'all to do this.
Yeah.
Ask your spouse, do you feel married to me? Or do we feel like we're only managing life together?
Mm.
Then listen without becoming defensive.
Yeah.
Don't be acting all crazy when y'all ask each other. We ask that y'all tell us in the comments, have you and your spouse ever went through a roommate season and what did y'all do to reconnect? Let us
Yeah.
know, y'all. We want to be
Hmm.
able to see
Let
if
us know. We want
everybody have
yeah.
what did y'all do to
Yeah.
reconnect
We
if
want to
y'all went through
read
that?
some of
'Cause I
that and
know
find
we all go through a season where we feel disconnected in our marriage
yeah.
and y'all can help us out with that, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, so we're gonna close it out how we
Yeah.
always do, y'all. We
Yes.
already know how that is, right?
Yep.
Because it's only one
One
way.
way. And
That's it.
that's it.
And that's the G
G
way.
way.
We love y'all.
All right.
Peace
Peace,
out.
y'all.